Okay. Hope everyone joined. How many students joined? 69. So around half students only. So please join on time. Okay, always. Otherwise, when we start something, you'll be missing and you may not be able to follow later. Okay. So please join on time correctly, and you're getting a break also. Okay. So anyway, we'll start. Okay, so good morning once again. So today we are going to start with the artificial neural networks. Okay. So this artificial neural network, so often we call it as a neural network. Is it audible and is the screen everything visible to you?
Yes, ma'am.
And if any problem in between, you can stop and tell me. Okay. Okay. So the artificial neural network, we often call it as a neural network. Okay. And this is a base of your subject, that is deep learning. Okay. So deep learning, this is an extension of neural network. So we just start from the base. What is this artificial neural network or the neural networks? Okay. And it's inspired by the biological nerve system, that is how the human brain works. Okay. How the nerve system works, based on that only, that concepts has been taken and they had developed the artificially developed the neural networks. Okay. So we are going to study we will look at the how the neurons works in our brain, how it works. Okay. And what all concepts they had tried to take and implement the neural network, so how that has been evolved, so that concepts today we will be studying. Okay. So first we will look at so what is artificial intelligence. So maybe in the first class, ma'am would have introduced like what is artificial intelligence, deep learning, machine learning, all that things. Okay. So we are studying artificial neural networks. So why this artificial neural network is used? It is to provide the artificial intelligence. So what is this artificial intelligence? Can you tell me? Sorry. Yeah, tell me, what is this artificial intelligence? What AI or artificial intelligence, what is it? What is artificial intelligence? It's providing the artificially, it is providing the intelligence to the machines, right? Okay. So we can make the computers to think like human beings. So human beings, they can easily think and we can take the decision. Suddenly we can take the decision according to our environment. Maybe suddenly something happens, maybe a dog is coming to bite us, so we will immediately think and we will maybe will do the action immediately. We will run or maybe we will react. Okay. So something we will do, we will decide on the spot. We will decide. The human brain is capable of deciding on the spot. So same way we are making the machine to think and make the decision based on its environmental conditions. It sends the environmental conditions and based on that, okay, how to react or how to decide something. Okay. So we are making the system capable of doing that one. That's the artificial intelligence. And how these machines are achieving this artificial intelligence, can you tell me? How the machines are achieving this artificial intelligence? Tell me. Artificial intelligence means, is it always machine learning or deep learning? Sorry, I'm not hearing. Really? Okay, so artificial in how can we yeah.
I said it's
Sorry, I don't know, my network connection problem or something. I don't know. I'm not able to hear, Priya. So, so this we are making the yeah. Tell me.
nothing, ma'am. Nothing, ma'am.
You tell me, Priya. I was not able to hear.
I was telling we give the artificial intelligence to the computers by training and providing required data for them to learn and resemble or imitate something like that.
Yeah. So is all artificial intelligence means, is it always machine learning and deep learning? Can you tell me?
Uh, both are the concepts only, na ma'am. It's basically giving the intelligence, and we use the machine learning is classifying artificial, like deep learning is going more to the details of the uh, data, and then giving computers, like
Yeah.
making
Yes.
computers aware. So that
So,
only comes to the picture when we speak of artificial intelligence.
okay. So artificial intelligence, we are providing the intelligence to the machine so that it can decide on itself. Okay. So some of the examples, maybe you would have seen autonomous car and all. So in autonomous car, it automatically decides. Okay. We would have given the training, maybe how to detect the lanes. Okay. It has to detect the lane, then it has to detect the traffic signal. So separately we would have given with that data, training would have given, and maybe how much distance should be there from the vehicle which is in front. Okay. So if it is coming closer, okay, what action need to be taken. Okay. And again, if it changed the lane, okay, white color would have been marked and on the roads, and if it changed the lane, what need to be done. Okay. So it has to detect the lane, and it has to be in the middle of the lane. So all that things the training would have given, and it is deciding on itself. That is when the traffic signal change, what action should be done, all that things it is deciding. So that's the artificial intelligence. And it's how to achieve this artificial intelligence. Many techniques are there, not only this machine learning and deep learning. So machine learning and deep learning, this is one of the way to achieve this artificial intelligence. Not always artificial intelligence means always don't think that it is only machine learning and deep learning. There are many methods to achieve the artificial intelligence. Okay. And we can tell this machine learning, it's a subset of artificial intelligence only. And again, deep learning, we can tell it's a subset of machine learning, we can tell. Okay. And always artificial intelligence means it's not machine learning and deep learning. Actually, when I studied BTech itself, that time itself we had a subject artificial intelligence, but we were not studying about machine learning or deep learning, because that time that concept was not there. Because artificial intelligence we were studying, but with the different things we were studying. Okay. But nowadays we have more data, and we can give the training with more data is available. And the concept machine learning and deep learning, as we are mainly using that concepts, and with the help of that we can easily achieve this artificial intelligence. So that's why again now you will be seeing everywhere, whatever the electronic device or everywhere, whatever things, new things come, it has a artificial intelligence in it. Okay. Because with the help of this machine learning and deep learning, we can each easily achieve that artificial intelligence. So you can look at this one, how the artificial intelligence can be achieved. So not only with machine learning and deep learning, various things are there. Okay. So all these expert system, fuzzy, okay, many things are there. With all that things we can achieve this artificial intelligence. So computer vision, image processing, then natural language processing, deep learning, machine learning. Okay. All these things, there are different ways to achieve this artificial intelligence. We can provide the intelligence to the machines using various techniques. Okay. So just machine learning and deep learning, these are one of the method to achieve this artificial intelligence only. Okay. Okay, so these are some of the artificial intelligence we can achieve using some of these system, expert system, or fuzzy logic, okay, and artificial neural network, genetic algorithms, and hybrid system, which is a combination of many other systems. Okay, so we are not going to study about what is expert system, fuzzy logic, genetic algorithm, or anything. In this, we just mainly look at the artificial neural network. So this artificial neural network also, it is one of the technique, one of the basic technique to achieve this artificial intelligence. With the help of artificial neural network, we can provide intelligence to the machine. Okay. So the machine can decide on itself. Okay. So we are looking at only the third one, that is artificial neural networks. Okay. So often we call it as only neural networks. Okay. Artificial neural network, we call it as neural networks, and it is mainly inspired by the biological neural networks. That is how our brain is working. Okay. So mainly based on that concept, the artificial neural network has been evolved. Okay. So it is the collection of connected units or nodes, that is artificial neurons. in our brain, okay, we have the nerve system or neurons we have, okay, how our neurons are working. Based on that, they had designed the artificial neural network. So we will look at how our brain is working, okay, how it is passing the electric signals from one neuron to the another one. So all that details we will look at today, so that we can easily relate with that one and we can understand how artificial neural network concept has been designed. Okay, so this is the diagram you can see. That's a neural network or artificial neural network. Okay, so you can see many nodes are there. Okay, it is same like each node, how it is working, how it's getting the inputs. It's a collection of new nodes, okay, neurons, which is getting the input and doing some summation and giving the output. So how it is working, it is same like the working of the human being. Okay, so it is parallelly distributed processing. So many nodes, it works parallelly. It processes the inputs parallelly. Okay, so and it has many interconnections are there. Okay, and it has the ability to learn and acquire the knowledge. Okay, and it can give the possible output. So we will first look at the how human brain works. Okay, and human perform complex tasks like vision, motor control, or language understanding. Okay, all these things we can do, all these things. That is, so I told you one example. When a dog run behind, suddenly we will decide what need to be done. Sometimes maybe we will throw one stone, or maybe we will run, or okay, so something, maybe we will take one stick or something. We will suddenly we will decide what need to be done. Okay, or maybe okay, someone is throwing a ball at you, so what need to be done, suddenly we will react. Or we will touch a fire, so immediately what need to be done, maybe will immediately we will take our hand. Okay, so immediately we are deciding. Okay, so some of the neurons, okay, it will again, it will activate some muscles to do that action. Okay, so when we touch on the fire, okay, some neurons it will understand, and again immediately it will activate some of the muscles so that we will take a hand. Okay, so all these actions, it is happening, okay, based on the working of our brain. So the same concepts, okay, how they had taken and they had implemented in neural networks. Okay, so this human brain, okay, we can tell it's a highly complex and non-linear parallel computer. We can tell it's a parallel computer. It consists of 10 power 11 neurons, and each neurons, it's densely connected with another neurons, many neurons, approximately 10 power 10 power sorry, 10 power 4 neurons. It is connected to 10 power 4 neurons. It's connected. Okay, each neuron, it's connected to 10 power 4 neurons again. So it helps to do all these things, that is reading, breathing, walking, running, all that things we can do it with the help of the working of our brain. Okay, so we will look at this brain neuron structure. You can see here biological neuron. Okay, so just understand just the main terms. You can see here dendrites. You can see here these are neurons. Maybe whoever studied in +2 biology, or maybe in 10th you would have studied this, you would have drawn this and studied these things. Yes or no? Did you study?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So some of you would have studied this one. Okay. Anyway, in detail, we are not studying this thing. Only thing is we need to understand. Okay. And how the neural networks has been evolved from this one, we need to understand. Okay. So you can see here many things. Dendrites. Dendrites means it is getting the input from other neurons. Okay, so you can see here small things. Okay, so that is the dendrites which get the input. Okay, in our brain means it is a electric signals only. Okay, so when we see something, or okay, when we try to learn something, okay, or our neurons or nerves, how it is working. So it is getting the inputs using this dendrite. So some electrical signals will be the inputs in our brain. So that inputs it will be getting, okay, through the dendrites. And you can see the cell body which compute that one. That is whatever the inputs it is getting. Okay, based on that, okay, it will find a summation. That means all that inputs it will aggregate here. Okay, and next is, you can see here axon, that is a long fiber, okay, that will carry that electric signals from one cell to another cell, okay. So from one neuron to another neuron, so it will carry that input and it will be given that whatever the output produced, it will be given through another the dendrite, you can see, that will be connected to the next nerve, okay. So one more thing, synapse. Synapse means, you can see another diagram, I'll just show. One second. Yeah. Can you see here? So this is connected with the another neuron, okay. So here you can see this region is called as synapse. So this synapse only, it will be exchanging the electric signals to the next neuron, okay. So from one neuron, the electric signals will be passed to the another neuron. The here there is a like electric signals will be passed to the another one. So now if one neuron, okay, when it fires the electric signal, okay, it will pass to the next neuron, and it will activate the next neuron also. Sometimes the electric signal will be so weak so that it won't be able to activate the next neuron. So what happens is, whatever the input we are giving there, okay, it will get blocked there. That means it won't again pass from the next to the continuous neuron. So it will get blocked there. It will just stop there, okay. Sometimes the whatever the electric signals produce, it will have a good strength so that it will pass to the next neuron, and that neuron will get activated and it will pass to the next neuron, like that it goes, okay. So in that case, what happens is, some of the neurons, okay, maybe when a particular action happens, some of the neurons will get activated and it will create a good bond with the other neurons. Okay, so maybe you just consider that when a child is born, okay, when a child is born, maybe the child may not be knowing many things, okay. So it may be like initially the child will be like seeing the mother's face, or maybe the whoever is at their house, okay, seeing their faces and trying to understand who it is, okay. So maybe when they are 1 year old or something, they may be able to recognize some of the people, okay. So it is trying to learn, okay, by seeing, by visually seeing, it is trying to learn. So in that, what is happening in the brain, some of the nerves will get some of the neurons will get activated, okay, and it is creating a bond, okay, with the next neuron. It is creating a bond with the next neurons, okay. And again, maybe slowly they will be learning the colors, okay. We will be teaching the colors, maybe we will show some colors and teaching, okay. So maybe after giving a training later, it will try, they will, the kid or something, they will try to understand, okay, this is a red color or green color. So maybe we will give many training, many times we would have showed some objects, okay, this is red color, this is green color, like that we will be initially we will be teaching the kids like, okay, these are the colors, or maybe this is A, B, C, D, like that we will be telling. So many times they hear that one and they are trying to learn that one. So what is happening in the brain, okay, some bond will be created between the neurons, okay, because one neuron will get activated, then it will activate the next neuron, okay, it will pass the electric signals and it will activate another neuron, and it will create a bond together, okay, it will be wired together and it creates a bond, okay, so that it will be like it is storing the knowledge in that one, okay, so that the child will be able to memorize and okay, when every day seeing the mother's or father's face, so it is creating a bond, and it is storing the knowledge over there, and it is able to memorize and tell, okay. So that only it is explained here, okay. So you can see here the biological neural system. So the electric impulses, how it is passed. So the dendrites, you can see here the dendrites, it accept the inputs or the electric signals from the other neurons, okay, and it pass through the axon, okay, and through the synapse. Okay, here there is a connection, that connection through that synapse, it is passing the electric signal to the next neuron. Okay, so the electric impulses pass between the synapse and the dendrites. So this is the dendrite of the next neuron. So through the dendrites, okay, each dendrites, it would have been connected to many neurons. Okay, so from each neuron, it get the input and it pass through the axon. You can see, and the synapse. It's a kind of chemical connection only. So there is a connection between the dendrites of one neuron to the other neurons. That's called as a synapse. So through the synapse, it is giving the electric signals to the next neuron. Okay, so if the electric, based on the strength of the electric signal, it will activate the next neuron also. So when it reaches a particular threshold value, okay, so if it is above, the electric signal strength is above the threshold value, only then it can activate the next neuron. Okay, otherwise what happens is the next neuron won't get activated. So this neuron is passing an electric signal, and if that the strength of the electric signal, if it's above a particular threshold, then it can activate the next neuron, so that this will create a bond together. Okay, so when we see a dog, what should be done? Okay, so on this neuron, it will activate and it produces signal, electric signal. The next neuron, it will activate, and maybe the muscles, maybe in our leg muscles, okay, we should run. So that is a quick action, means what happens, that particular neuron will get activated. So that creates a bond. Okay, so when we see a dog, okay, I should run or I should react. If, okay, maybe some people will be, they will react back. Okay, some people maybe they may not be afraid of dogs. Okay, so it depends on each person. Okay, so all that things only explain here. You can read it, all these things later. So clear explanations, it's given here. So whatever I explained. So now you can see here. Yeah. So I told you some cases what happens is the signal strength is more, means it will activate the next neuron and it creates a good bond. Okay. Sometimes if it is a weak, then what happens is it may not be able to create a clear bond. Okay, so maybe when you study, you may be studying something, like you may be learning something like maybe about the musical instruments, or maybe you will be learning cricket or football. Okay, so in that case, maybe initially you may not be expert in that one. Okay, slowly you will be learning that maybe musical instruments when you try to learn, or maybe the dance. Okay, initially you may not be expert in that, maybe many years it may take, and you will become expert in that one. So maybe many years you will be learning drawing or singing, or maybe musical instruments, or maybe practicing the cricket. Okay, so what happens is many years it may take and you may become expert in that one. Okay, so you can see here one example is given. Okay, when a ball, okay, comes to you, that is from which location it is, you are throwing a ball from which location, so that your brain will try to understand that and you will try to bat. Okay, so maybe with practice, what happens is you will be able to understand that location. Okay, and how to bat, so your brain will decide, okay, what time I should bat. Okay, or all that things your brain will be deciding. So with practice, what happens is a clear bond would have created, a proper wiring would have happened in your brain, and you will be able to take the action very quickly. Okay. And in certain cases, sometimes what happens, I told you, if the signal strength is very weak, means it won't be able to reach a particular threshold value, then the bond wouldn't have created properly. So maybe you just think about one example. Maybe once in a life you had seen a particular person. Okay, so maybe later, after many years, the same person, when they come in front of you, you may not remember it. What happened is, maybe when you see that person, okay, you are seeing that person. Okay, that knowledge, it is stored in your brain, maybe only once you saw that particular person. So maybe one neuron would have got activated, it would have produced some electrical signals, and maybe it wouldn't have reached a particular threshold and it wouldn't have activated other neurons. Okay, and maybe proper wiring wouldn't have happened, proper knowledge wouldn't have stored in your brain, only once you had seen that particular person. So maybe after many many years the same person will if they come back, so you may not be able to recognize because a proper bonding is not created, a proper knowledge is not stored in your brain. But for some people, maybe once only you would have seen, but in your brain, maybe the correct knowledge, it would have been stored properly in your brain. Some people, you know that some people, they remember your birth dates, every birthday or all the dates, maybe all your friends dates, birth dates, or all the important dates, they will remember. But some people cannot remember all that things. So what is happening? So their brain, they can, okay, once if they hear that particular thing, okay, their brain can store that details in the, okay, that knowledge will be stored in your brain. But some people, okay, they may not they cannot store that knowledge. Okay, so once only you saw a particular person, but some people, they will be easily remembering that one, they can recognize that. Okay, after many years also, if you see that particular person, sometimes you will be able to recognize. But sometimes once only you saw that particular person, maybe he had done something to you, maybe some particular thing in that particular person, okay, you will, you know that means something, okay, made you to remember that particular person, means only once you had seen, but still many years you will remember that. So that is what is happening when you visually see that many neurons may be getting activated, and if it creates a clear bond, and if it store the knowledge in that, then you will be able to recognize that in future. Okay, so yeah, so the same concept we are using in the neural network. So you can see this one. So in the neural network, so in our brain, it is a complex structure. So when we artificially create it, are we going to create everything, that is that complex structure, the entire complex structure of the brain? Are we going to use the entire complex structure of the brain? No. Okay, what we are doing is we are making a simple artificial neurons. Okay, it is an abstraction of the biological neurons. We are not going to consider that entire our complex brain structure. It is just the abstraction of our biological neurons, and we are making a simple artificial neurons. Okay, when we try to create artificially, we are not going to make imitate the entire brain structure, because our brain structure, many neurons are there, many connections are there. It is very complex to imitate the entire thing as it is. So what we are doing is we are making it a simple abstraction of our biological neurons. Okay. Okay, so yeah, all these examples I told you. So the 1-year-old baby, how it's trying to recognize the things, objects, faces, all that things. Okay. So in our artificial neurons, okay, it is how we are going to make the artificial neurons is it composed of interconnected units or artificially created neurons. Okay, so we can train each neurons, we can train based on the data. Okay, so these are the some of the tasks which we can perform with the help of the neural network. That is, we can do the classifications, pattern matching, optimization, approximation. So these are the some of the task or the application which we can do with the neural networks, and it can do the classification. So maybe you would have learned now linear regression, logistic regression, all that things, classification, regression, all that things you would have studied. So some of the classification, like the fish classification to salmon and sea basses, this classification, or male or female classification with the training of many images. Okay, these data means it is, these images means these are male, so some of the features of the male, some of the features of the female. So with that we would have given the training so that it will be able to classify with the from while seeing the images whether it is a male or female. Now you know that in your cameras and all, it will easily recognize and it will tell your age, Okay, all that things it will be able to tell. So how it is able to tell? Many training would have given with the many data. We would have given the training. With the help of that, it will be able to do the classification, recognize the characters. Okay, then classifying the cancerous or non-cancerous. Okay, based on the images or based on the data. Okay, then again. For a natural language processing, okay, you know that now Alexa or Echo, okay, how it is talking with us. Okay, whenever we ask something, it is trying to understand and it is trying to give the answer back. Okay, so all that things, it has the artificial intelligence in that one. So that's why it is able to understand. And chatbots, okay, how the chatbots, when we give something, type something question, it is able to answer it. Okay, so again, another one is clustering. So clustering means it is trying to observe the similar patterns, and based on that similar patterns, it is trying to do the classification. So in this balls, you can see red balls, it makes one category, blue one category, green one category. That is called as a clustering. So it observes the same patterns and makes the clusters. And look at the numbers. If I ask you to make 2 clusters, how will you divide these numbers into 2 clusters? Can you look at the same patterns and tell me the 2 clusters? Can you tell 2 clusters? If these numbers 7, 19, 14, 6 and 8, 6, 8 and 92. From this, can you make 2 clusters? If I just ask you to make 2. Yeah, maybe single digits you may make 1 cluster, and double digits 1 cluster. Maybe based on the difference, sometimes you will cluster like 7, 19, 14, 6 and 8 belongs to 1 cluster, and 92 another cluster. Okay, maybe if I ask you to make 3 clusters, means sometimes 7, 6, 8 in 1 cluster, then 14 and 19 in another cluster, and 92 in another cluster, you may make it. So how you are clustering it? Maybe the difference you will find, and how the difference, okay, how much the difference, based on that you may divide into 3 clusters. So we make the machine to learn that, okay, the same kind of patterns in the balls, you can see that colors. So same kind of colors, or maybe some other features, observe that features. So same features are there, means make it one group. Okay, so I'm asking to make 2 groups or 3 groups. So in that, it look at the pattern, same kind of patterns, and based on that, it tries to do the classification. Okay, so now this is the structure of the artificial neuron. Okay, you can look at the image. You can see here there are various inputs, x1, x2, etc., like xn. Okay, so this represents your dendrites. Okay, we are the artificial neuron, it's evolved from the human brain structure, how it is working. So I told you that dendrites, it get the input, and all the input summation, it happens in the cell body, inside the cell body. Okay, so the dendrites, it is getting the input. That is input. What is the input when we consider the brain? It's electric signals. It has a varying strength. Each input, whatever it get from other neurons, each dendrite is getting the input from various neurons, right? So it may have varying electrical strength. Okay, so that everything, the summation, it happens inside the body, and the output, it goes to the axon. Okay, and if that electric signal strength, if it reaches a particular threshold, only then it can go to the other neurons and activate that one. Okay, so if it's very weak, if it's not reaching a particular threshold, what happens? It won't be able to activate the next neuron. So the bond will stop here. So maybe from the previous neuron, it had a strength and it got activated. This neuron got activated. But that time, what happened? The electric signal, it became weak, and it's not able to activate the next neuron. So what happened? The bond will stop here. Okay, only this neuron got wired with the previous neurons, but it's not able to establish the connection with the next neuron. So what happened? These neurons, it has made a good bond. Okay, so later the same thing repeats. So whatever happens, what happened? This neuron, it's got activated with the previous neuron. Okay, so it has a good connection, but with the other neurons, that is after this, whatever the neurons coming, it is not able to make a good bond. Okay, so same way you can see here in the artificial neurons, you can see here it is getting multiple inputs like x1, x2, like that. It's getting the inputs. Okay, and the strength of that one, it is we are trying to represent in terms of weights. Okay, when we implement artificially the dendrites, what it is getting the electric signals, that we are representing like the inputs x1, x2, etc. up to xn, and the strength of that one, it is represented using the weights w1, w2. Okay, so each input, it will be multiplied with the weights. Okay, x1 will be multiplied with w1, x2 will be multiplied with w2, next x3 will be multiplied with w3, like that till xn will be multiplied with wn, and its summation is found out in this place, in this node, that is considering the cell body. Okay, so in the cell body, what is happening, the dendrites are getting the inputs with different strength. Okay, electric signal strength, it will be varying for whatever the inputs getting, the dendrites whatever it's getting, the electric signal strength, it will be varying. The same way here, the x1, x2, x3, xn, these inputs, its strength will be varying. How it is varying? It is based on the weights. Okay, so you can see here, each input always it will be multiplied with the weights. Okay, and how we are deciding the weights is, initially always we start with the random weights only. Okay, whatever the application, when we try to solve, we start with the random weights. Okay, so this weights, it represent the strength of that inputs, it will be multiplied and its summation is found out in the body. Okay, and the summation, it is, we consider it as a here in this, according to this figure. So the summation is given, and here you can see this, we call it as the activation function. Okay, so this we call it as the activation function. What is that activation function is? It is a, I told you, when the signal strength is above a particular threshold, only then it can activate the next neuron. Okay, so this activation function, it decides that, okay, it can be a threshold function. Okay, threshold function means always there will be a particular limit. So above that limit means what it need to do, below that limit means what need to be done. Okay, so this activation function always, it decides what will be the output. Okay, so the summation is given to the activation function, that can be any threshold also. So threshold means above this means what need to be done, below this means what need to be done. So this activation function, it decides your output. So this is the structure of your artificial neuron. You should remember this properly. Okay, artificial neuron, how it looks. Okay, it has several inputs. Okay, each input has its own strength, how it is indicated with the weights w1, w2, etc. Okay, and it will be multiplied and its summation will be found out here, and the summation, okay, that will be given as the input to the activation function, and it produces the output y. Okay, so when you compare with the biological neuron, the each term, the cell, okay, instead of that, here we represent each neuron. Okay, in artificial neurons. Then synapse, as I told you, that's a connection between the dendrites. It gives the output to the next dendrite. Okay, so that is the synapse. Okay, so that's the interconnections. And soma, that's the cell body. Okay, there we find the net input. So in the cell body, what it is doing, all the inputs through the dendrites, it's collecting and it's summation. The same way here you can see, here we are finding the summation. Okay, and output is given through the axon. Okay, so axon, it's giving the output. So here we call it as output. That's all. Okay, how we relate with the biological neuron. So you should remember the structure and how it is we relate with the biological neurons. Okay. Okay, so same thing, it's explained here. And what is A? It is the sigma of Wixi. Okay, so Wixi means W1 into X1 plus W2 into X2 plus W3 into X3, like that till Wn plus Xn. So that is the A, and A is given as input to the activation function that decides your output. Okay. So why is the, when you apply the activation function on A, okay, it gives the output. And what is this activation function? We have linear and non-linear activation functions. Okay, So this linear and non-linear, again, we have several non-linear functions like threshold function, sigmoid function. So we will study, next class we will study in detail about each activation function. So non-linear activation function like threshold, sigmoid function. So threshold, I told you, okay, what is threshold? So we will look at the activation functions in the next class, okay. So for a linear function, one second, sorry. Sorry, one second. So I told you what is linear and non-linear. And linear means always it is depending on the input. So how the input is changing, based on that the output will also change it. Okay, linear means based on the how the input is changing, the same way the output changes. So non-linear, it's mainly the threshold and sigmoid function. So based on a threshold value, it need to decide, okay, maybe cancerous or non-cancerous. So threshold values kept. So above this threshold value, if it reaches, then maybe it predicted as cancerous, or below this means non-cancerous or something like that. Okay. Okay, and in the neural network, we need to learn about the single layer, multi-layer neural networks and all. Okay, so in the next classes and all, we will be learning that. Okay, and the training algorithms, we have supervised training, unsupervised training. Okay, so what is supervised, unsupervised? Maybe ma'am would have given the introduction about the supervised and unsupervised. Okay, so in next classes and all, we will be looking at that things. Then activation functions, various activation functions we study. Okay, again, the neural network architectures, we have single layered feed forward network, multi-layered, single node, single layer recurrent network, multi-layer recurrent network. So each one, next class we will be studying each about all these neural networks. Okay, so now we just look at the neural network and its input layer, output layer, and which are the hidden layers. So I'll just show an image, one second. Can you see the image below? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So you can see here, the first layer which get the input, okay, it find the summation, okay, and the summation, it will be given to the next layer, okay, and again next layer, I told you the input always, the input will be multiplied with the weights, okay, and the summation will be found out, okay, and the corresponding output, it will be given to the next layer, that again multiply with the weights and it find the summation. So like that, many layers can be present. So this is a simple neuron. You can see here there is an input layer and there is only one layer between the input and output layer. Okay, so there is only one hidden layer. Okay, so if there is no hidden layer, we call it as single layer neural network. But if we have one hidden layer, we call it as multi-layer neural network. Okay, and if the number of hidden layer, when it increases, it go to the deep neural networks. Okay, the number of hidden layers, when it increases, if we have many hidden layers, okay, then we call it as a deep neural networks. Okay, so now for the classes we will be looking at various kinds of neural networks we will be studying. Okay, so what is input layer is getting the input, okay, and it will get multiplied with the weights, and the output layer, it decides the output based on the activation function, and the hidden layers, it will be between the input and the output layer. Okay, so finally only when it reaches output layer, it decides the output based on the threshold value. Okay, so the same thing, whatever I told you, it is just showed here. You can see here, each input, it's multiplied with the weights and finding the summation. Okay, and the summation, between the summation and the output, you can see the activation function. So x1 will be multiplied with the w1 plus x2 into w2, like that till xn into wn or m you will be doing, and its summation is found out, and the summation, it's given as the input to the activation function. Okay, the activation function, based on the activation function, you produce the output. So what is this activation function? I told you the signal strength. When you try to relate with the human brain, the electric signal, okay, if it has enough strength, only then it can activate the next neuron. It can pass the output to the next neuron, and it can activate the next neuron. Okay, so here also when we look at a particular node, okay, it finds the summation of the inputs, and with the weights it finds out, and that will be given as the activation function, and that decides the output. Okay. Okay, so how our brain is trying to learn all these things is how the neural network it is trying to learn everything with the help of the trial and error method. That means I told you the weights initially it is assigned, the random weights will be assigned. Okay, we are not always trying to give the initial means of this kind of application means this is the fixed weights we are not giving. Always it's a kind of trial and error only. So random weights, so we will give the random weights. With the help of the random weights, it produces a summation will be produced, and it produces the output, and with the targeted output it will always check, okay, whether it's reaching the target output or not. So if it's not reaching the target output, what happens is again how much it is lacking from the targeted output, that will be given as a feedback. And from the feedback, what happens is the weight will get updated. Again it will random, it will again update the weights. Okay, and how the weights need to be updated, all that things we will be learning. So the weight will get updated. Again it will try to learn with the updated weights. Again it will find the summation of the input, again give it as a input to the activation function. Again what output it is getting, that will check with the targeted output. So maybe sometimes when we do the training, we will give the targeted output like maybe these are the features, then you should classify it as a male, and these are the features, then it should be classified as female. So like that we would have labeled the data, we would have given the target. Okay, so now each time it knows that okay, I should achieve this particular target. So each time when it select the random weights, and when it produce the output, finally it will check, is it reaching the target? Okay, if it's not reaching the target, how much it is deviating from the target, how much it has a difference from the target. So that difference will be given as the feedback to the network, and the network again it learns. Okay, it updates its weight, again it will produce the output and it checks. So maybe with several iteration, it may take several iterations to learn that and understand. Okay, with the features, you had given some features and you had told that these features means it is male, and these features means it is female. Okay, so with that features it is trying to learn. Okay, and each time it will check the output whether it is matching with the targeted output or not. If it's not matching, how much it is deviating from the targeted output. So that difference will be given again as the input, and the weights will be updated each time, and finally it will reach a stage where the weight updation stop. Weight updation stop means it is correctly, now it is able to predict the output. It has learned properly and it is correctly predicting the output. So that time what happens is weight updation will stop. Okay, so that is only happening in the neural networks. Always it's a kind of trial and error method. That means the first it starts with the random weight, then it's trying to learn and update the weight. How it is updating the weight, each time it checks whether the targeted output has reached or not. If the targeted output has not achieved, it will give it as the difference. It will be given as the again feedback, and with the help of the feedback it will try to learn and understand. Okay, so this is just a small comparison between the biological neuron and artificial neuron. Okay, when we look at the speed, we can achieve, the artificial neurons can achieve good speed. Okay, and about the how many connections is complex in our brain, but when we look at the artificial neuron, we make a simplified network. Okay, we are not making a complex network like our brain. We make a simple abstraction of that one. Okay. And yeah, you can see that how the control mechanism in our brain, it's complex, but here it is simple. Okay. Yeah, these are some of the characteristics of our artificial neural network. So it is highly interconnected, and it can learn, recall. Okay. And I told you how it is learning, how the weight is getting updated. Okay. And some of the properties, learning, it can be labeled, unlabeled, and adaptivity. Okay. Non-linearity and fault tolerance, that is, if one neuron, if it stop working parallelly, the other neurons, it will be working. Okay, so you can just go through this one. These are some of the applications. You may be knowing many of the application: autonomous car, then Echo, that Amazon Echo, all that things. It has the working based on artificial intelligence is there. So it can be based on the neural network or any of the concept. Okay, so these are the some of the applications. So that's all. You can just go through these applications. Okay. Okay, so that's all. So maybe next classes we will learn about the activation function. So this is just an introduction to the artificial neural network. So today just we studied how it's relate with our human brain. Okay, so how the neural network has evolved. Okay, considering our human brain. Okay, what all things from the human brain has been taken, and the neural networks, how it has been evolved. Okay, so you should relate and understand. Okay, then the next concepts like each neural network, then activation function, and each type of the neural networks and all we'll study in the next classes. Okay. Okay, so thank you all. So if any doubts in that, you can ask. I'll stop recording.